While he was praying, the appearance of his face changed, and his clothes became dazzling white. And behold, two men were talking to him, who were Moses and Elijah. They were seen in glory and were speaking of his exodus, which he was about to accomplish in Jerusalem. Good morning. Welcome to a short biblical reflection on the description of Transfiguration of Jesus as it is recorded in the Gospel according to Luke chapter 9, verses 28 up to 36. This is the Gospel reading for the second Sunday of Lent. Since the Transfiguration of Jesus is also recorded in other Synoptic Gospels, let us first see a Synoptic comparison. The story flow in Matthew chapter 17 and Mark chapter 9 is very similar, while Luke has some distinctive elements. All of them mention that Jesus took those disciples, while Luke adds also element about prayer. Went up on the mountain to pray, and it happened while he was praying. Now both Matthew and Luke state about changing face of Jesus in Matthew. His face shone like the sun, while in the Lucan Gospel the appearance of his face changed. While Mark is focusing on the clothes, but now adds a particular element which is found only in his description, such as no one on earth could bleed them. Then in Lucan Gospel we have the part which is not found in other two Gospels, in verses 31 and 33. They were seen in glory and were speaking of his exodus, which he was about to accomplish in Jerusalem. Then Peter and those who were with him weighed down with sleep, but since they had stayed awake, they saw his glory, and the two men standing with him. And it happened when they were departing from him. Those words are only peculiar to Lucan Gospel. Then the reaction and the statement of Peter is found in all these three Gospels with very similar words when Peter wants to put 3 tents for Moses, Elijah, and for Jesus. And then now we have similarity between Mark now and Luke, which mention that Peter saying those words, he didn't know what he was really talking about. And then the last part of the strictly description of the Transfiguration is similar in all these three Gospels, stating about the cloud which overshadowed them and the words addressed to them from the cloud, which are also very similar. And now, in Lucan Gospel, it ends just with the statement, and they kept silent, and in those days told no one any of the things they had seen. While in Matthew's Gospel and Markan Gospel, then when they are going down from the mountain, they are talking with Jesus and asking this question about Elijah. Why then do the scribes say that Elijah must come first? Such a description we do not find in a Lucan Gospel. Therefore, now concluding from this comparison, the essential is this part which I put in blue, highlighting in blue color, which concerns the statement about glory, about Exodus, and Jerusalem. From the synoptic comparison, we could observe the essential elements are concerning glory and Exodus and Jerusalem. We can now say that we have two lines. One line which is going in the direction to glory, revelation, and the second line going directly to Jerusalem, the place of passion of Jesus, because in Lucan Gospel, the journey to Jerusalem is one of the essential elements. The whole gospel is like oriented. Uh, Jesus first is traveling all over around, but then from about the middle of the gospel, he focuses on going to Jerusalem. Therefore, Jerusalem is the place of fulfillment. And also here there is this particular word which I translated, many translations translated like of his departure, but here I translated was speaking of his exodus, because in fact the Greek word is there, literary meaning exodus, and in the Gospels it is found only in this place. We could say that using this word exodus, Luke wanted also to connect it strongly with the first exodus. The first exodus, the moment of salvation, of choosing, electing his own people by God. Here we have also the chosen Son of God, whom the disciples have to listen. So this Exodus now is linking to Jerusalem. This Exodus, the second Exodus, happens at the moment of passion, death, and then consequently of the resurrection of Jesus. Therefore, Jerusalem here we could say is like of the central point, or we could also interpret it that since we have these two lines of glory and resurrection, which in other words means passion, we could say that as Peter wants to also make three tenths, which focuses in this case on glory, why the revelation comes, this is my son, the chosen one, listen to him, like explaining to Peter to make him understand that before to reach glory, there is need to go through passion. There is no glory without passion. There is no resurrection without the suffering and death of Jesus. And only after the suffering and death of Jesus, there is glory of his resurrection. I would like to wish you a nice reflection on this gospel reading.